Welcome to Podnutz Daily for September 4th, 2008, episode number 70. This year is flying by. I can't believe it's actually September already. And if you guys, I did the interview with Scott Mueller yesterday, and I posted the podcast, the Podnutz podcast. It's up at podnutz.com, just like I promised, right? I always keep my promises, right, guys? Right. Don't listen to it now. Listen to it after this show or whenever, but I had such a good time, man. Scott is a really cool guy, super knowledgeable, and I had a great time interviewing him. I hope that he comes on some future episodes of Podnutz. That would be killer, because I have a feeling we could do 10 episodes of Podnutz with that guy and still have plenty of material to cover. I want to say something about his book. It's upgrading and repairing PCs. I bought it recently, honestly, and I mentioned this in the podcast I did with him. You know, I was at the point where before I bought his book, I'm thinking to myself, you know, I never need to buy another book in my life with the internet, and everything I want I just look up online. Well, when I bought his book, it really changed my view on that, because his book it's everything you need to know really in one place. You know it's factual, you know it's good information, and it can actually be a great resource for you and help you out faster than you searching through Google searches on the internet for something and hope that you find somebody who knows what they're talking about. This thing has everything about desktops I've ever could have dreamed of knowing about these things. We're talking like down to like the how the Pentium processors are made and what the actual circuit board looks like inside, and like the die that cut them, and details that just blow me away. I mean, the book is truly amazing, and you guys should put out the money if you're doing computer repair or you're a computer repair technician. Put out the money and get it, and keep it in your shop, because you will refer to it often. So I just wanted to thank Scott for that. And anybody who hasn't listened to Podnutz episode number 24, check it out at podnutz.com. It is posted. I've been seeing OpenID around a lot on the internet. I don't know if you guys are like me, where you get sick of like entering usernames and passwords all day long. And a lot of places look like they're going with this OpenID, where I guess you get an OpenID account at openid.com or whatever, and then you could use that on all these sites. I haven't used it myself. I'm interested in what you guys think about it. So, you know, let me know, whoever has experience with it, if they think it's good or not. You could call me on live on the show. You could send me a voicemail at Skype me at Podnutz Daily, or you could email me at mail@podnutzdaily.com. All right, let's get into some stuff here I did at the shop. Code 19. I don't know if anybody here has gotten Code 19 on Windows. It's the code I got today when I replaced somebody's CD drive. DVD drive. I put in a DVD writer into a machine, booted up the machine. The machine would not load the drivers for this drive. And usually those drivers are standard for those CD drives, and you don't need to load any special software disk. It just finds it and installs it. This one was having a problem. So I opened up the device manager, and I saw the little yellow exclamation mark next to it, or question mark, whatever it is. No, it was an exclamation mark, saying that it tried to install the driver and something went wrong. And the error it said it went wrong is something along the lines of, you know, we tried to install this software in the registry and it was corrupted or being used by another process or something like that. And then it said code 19 at the end. So I just Googled like code 19, couldn't read, can't find CD drive or something like that. And I should have looked at Scott's book for the answer for this. I can't believe it. I'll check next time. But anyway, this time I just Googled the problem and I found the answer to it. It's and I talked about it before on Podnutz Daily. You actually have to go into the registry in a certain registry key. There's upper filters and lower filters, and you have to delete them. They get created usually by software programs like iTunes or some kind of DVD or CD authoring software or burning software program, who basically, I think they try to like make it so they can control the CD drives. And what that, I guess, when you switch out a drive, or that can mess things up when you try to like switch hardware, I guess. Anyway, when you delete the upper and lower filters, it recognized the drive and everything worked fine. So that's code 19. Just Google code 19 if you ever have that problem, and you'll find the answer to it. I don't know the exact registry key, but it's deep in there. It's got a lot of big random-like looking numbers in it. And once you get there, you just delete the upper and lower filters. You will be okay, I think. It worked for me today. I had a Vio laptop. This is a job that looks like it may be a future headache. Customer said he was just deleting files off of his computer. When he brought it to me, it's an older VIA. When he brought it to me, I hit the power button on the computer. Its screen doesn't boot up. There's no boot up. There's nothing on the screen. The LEDs come on, like the power LED and the battery's charging LED. The hard drive LED is not flickering, so I know it's not really posting. This computer's not posting, and there's no video. I took it apart. I'm like messing around with stuff on the motherboard and powering it on as I'm doing this. If you ever try to attempt to do something like this, because I thought something was loose on the motherboard. Don't poke the motherboard with anything metal when you have it on. Anyway, I had it on. It was exposed, and I was looking to see if there was any capacitors or anything like that, burst it or something. I didn't notice anything, but I've had computers, laptops in the past where you turn the computer on, it powers up, you don't get any post screen. It doesn't boot, no hard drive activity, but the computer stays on and the fan spins. It could be your motherboard, but I've also had experience with these laptops, especially the video card on these laptops. Some laptops have a separate video card not attached to the motherboard, or it's attached, but it could pop off. And they go bad, either from heat or whatever, and they cause problems like this. I'm going to test tomorrow if it's his video card. I don't know what else to test for. I'll keep you guys posted, but that's just one tip. Look for video cards. Sometimes it's not the whole motherboard that needs replaced, just a video card, and the video cards are a lot cheaper than the motherboard on eBay. You know, people like Steve D'Amico, who was a couple Podnutz episodes ago. It always rings in my mind every time I talk to him how he takes laptops, used broken laptops or whatever, and he breaks them all up into like very specific single parts and sells those parts on eBay. I'm the kind of person that has been buying those parts. So there is I know there's a market for those parts. It might be a good thing to get into, buying broken laptops and parting it out. And I'm not talking about just the screen and then the base. I'm talking about the screen, the hinges, the LCD cable, the inverter, the base, the motherboard, whatever. It might take a while to sell all the parts, but you could make money. I spent $30 on a fan the other day for a laptop, which probably cost about 3 cents to make. But I had to get that specific thing for a specific Toshiba model computer. So keep that in mind. If you listen to the Podnutz interview with Scott, he talked about the difference between fix boot and fix MBR. And MBR stands for the master boot record. He says fix boot fixes the VBR. I can't remember what V stands for. Virtual boot record? I don't know. I can't remember. MBR stands for master boot record. And both of those can get corrupted or messed up somehow and cause the computer not to boot. Well, one of the examples he cited in the podcast was